Okay, folks, welcome to a brief overview of lesson 10.5. We're talking about inverse functions. Inverse functions. So, the idea of an inverse function, one would be a job, the amount of time you put into a job, and then the money you get back out. 3 hours, $45. 5 hours, $75. Well, how many hours did I work to earn $75? That would be the idea of going backwards. Your hourly rate times the times equal to your amount of money you make, and you're doing an inverse or opposite operation. Another example would be temperature conversion from Celsius to Fahrenheit or from Fahrenheit to Celsius. You would algebraically or numerically go through an inverse process. And an example we're all familiar with is buying something online. When you put your credit card in your computer, your numbers are being codified most of the time, or should be. And so they're being codified. Then, when the receiver receives the coded credit card, it's unscrambled, and so that the right exact number of your credit card that you put in there is showing up. So they charge your account for your purchase. Hopefully that makes sense, and it has to be. Can't be two other people getting the same charge to their credit card. So anyway, let's just take a second and look at the tasks here. There's your title. These are your general items. The only thing I would point out is we do need to take a brief look at this. And of course, your assignment work, be aware of that. Please do that. That will help you out. Here's a little bit more teaching on inverse functions. One-to-one and horizontal line test. That's basically saying that if you had a parabola, it is a function, y equals x squared. But its inverse will be a parabola pointed out, to the right. And that would fail the vertical line test. So a one-to-one function is just saying, does it pass the vertical and the horizontal line test? That is sort of a test to see whether a function has an inverse. And then here's the step-by-step procedure. You'll see that on my video. Then Mr. Khan has done 3 videos. They're very high quality. I suggest you look at them, and look at them again if you need to. And then this right here, which I do want to talk briefly about a little bit later, it's talking to you about how to actually use the graphs to find inverse of a function. Then you have your quiz 10.5. So don't forget your discussion on 10.5 as well. All right, let's take a second and go back over this. Here's your objectives. Want to verify that 2 functions are inverses of each other. That's an important skill. Determine whether or not a function has an inverse. That is a very important skill. Finding the inverse of a function, the domain and range of an inverse function. Of course, the idea that is when you're working on a week, you're working from 0 hours to the maximum hours there are in a week. And so your money you're going to make is going to be from 0 to the maximum number you could make. And if we work backwards, it would be a similar situation. This talks about sketching the graph of an inverse function. I just remember it's a reflection over the line y equals x because we're switching x and y algebraically. And then this is talking about determining values given a graph. You've got your readings, your assignment work. Now don't forget, I may have mentioned this to you before, that if you're sketchy on any of this information, do problems. Take that first quiz. If you realize that you are not understanding, then you have to. There's really no shortcut to this. Go back and work some more problems. My advice is just do all the odd problems or the assigned problems here. Keep up with your notebook. That may be a really good hint I'm giving you here, an opportunity for some point value later. Just a thought right there for those folks who are doing that work. All right, so complete your online readings, and then you got your assignments, your discussion post. remember, if you've read your discussion post, which you should have already, please make it after you finish with the 10.4 lesson and quiz. That way you have enough time to take care of that and then complete that quiz 10.5. Pretty straightforward on that. Okay, so this is a little bit of the Khan Academy video where he's talking about a function and its inverse, and he works it out all algebraically here. That's just a quick shot there. Okay, a little bit of information on that last section. Here's a graph. It looks like a cubic. What would its inverse be? Well, here's the line y equals x, the green line, and then you could flip it over. You could pick point values. You could, depending upon your visual abilities here. Now this question right here, I'm just going to call totally awesome. Use the graph below to find blah. Okay, so here's my guy, f of 0. F is the function. F of 0, I'm going on the x-axis for my domain value. I'm going up to the function. That would be 1. F of 2, I'm going over here. I'm going up. That looks like that's going to be 3. Now, inverse f of 2. Inverse f of 2. So before it was, you give me an x, I give you a y. Now it's, I call the Radio Shack. You got answers, we got questions, or whatever. So inverse f of 2. I got to find where the y is 2. The y is 2. Looks like right here, at this point right here. So if the y is 2 there, what's the x value? That would be 1. And then, of course, f of negative 3. Where is the y negative 3 at? Negative 3. That looks like it would be negative 2. So if we scroll down here, we could see the answer to the question. Hope that helps you. Okay, a couple reminders on this. If you would, make sure that you look at the videos on introducing the concepts of this lesson, and the other videos on lesson 10 that may help you as well. And if you haven't put your profile picture, put it up there so that we know what's going on, who we're talking to when we look at a post on a discussion board. So if you have not done so, please read the discussion post information for lesson 10 and week 4 check-in post. Thank you very much, and I pray that it's going well for you and that you're getting your questions answered and you're moving forward. All right, best wishes.